All right, for all you IT managers and senior leaders out there, if you're the one on the hook for keeping the lights on in today's, let's face it, incredibly complex digital world, then you are absolutely in the right place. We're about to take a look at the future of resilience, and spoiler alert, it's all about AI.
Look, let's be real for a second. In today's IT world, we all know it's not a question of if something's going to go wrong. It's a question of when. And what really matters is how you're set up to handle it when it does. Because uptime, that's the name of the game.
And that's exactly why we're here. This is a high-level overview, kind of like a guided tour of a really comprehensive 8-part tutorial. It's all based on the AI-enabled Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery Implementation Guide from Virtualization Options LLC. So think of this as the executive summary before you dive into the full playbook.
So the core idea here is, honestly, a game changer. We're not just talking about bolting AI onto your existing disaster recovery plan. No, this is a total mindset shift. It's about moving from that old-school reactive scramble to a strategy that's actually proactive, predictive, and, genuinely resilient. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with that big AI shift, then get into the foundations, talk architecture, monitoring, and automation, and wrap up with testing and governance. It's the whole journey to resilience, right here.
All right, first up, the AI paradigm shift. So what does this whole proactive resilience thing actually look like? Let's dig into how business continuity and disaster recovery, or BC/DR, is evolving.
This lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old way. Something breaks, alarms go off, and it's all hands on deck with these static, outdated runbooks. Total chaos. But on the right, AI completely flips the script. We're talking predictive analytics that see trouble coming, automation that acts in a split second, and a strategy that's smart enough to learn and adapt. It's night and day.
Okay, so now that we get the big picture, let's talk about the foundation. This is where you start, and it's what chapters 1 and 2 of the full guide really dig into.
So the guide is super clear about this. Everything, and I mean everything, has to be built on these two metrics, RTO and RPO. You've probably heard these a million times, but they're not just jargon, right? They're fundamental business questions. How fast do you need to be back up and running, and how much data can you afford to lose? The cool part is how AI can help you analyze and really nail down what those numbers should be for every part of your business.
But why now? Why is this such a big deal right now? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm. The threats out there are getting scarier and more sophisticated every day. Our systems are more interconnected and complex than ever. Our bosses and customers expect zero downtime. And oh yeah, the regulators are watching more closely. All of this together means that an AI-driven approach isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's essential. Okay, foundation's in place. Now we get to the fun part, building the thing. This is all about architecture and data protection, which the guide covers in chapters 3 and 4. We're talking about how you design resilience in from day one, and crucially, how you protect what's probably your most valuable asset, your data.
I want you to just picture a typical recovery. The pressure is on, right? You're scrambling to figure out what happened, what you need to restore, then you have to actually do the restore, check if it even worked, all while the clock is ticking and everyone's breathing down your neck. The potential for a simple human error in that situation is just huge. And this is where AI just changes everything. It's not just about being faster, though it is way faster. It's about intelligent automation. AI can orchestrate all those complicated steps, running through the recovery workflow with a speed and reliability that, frankly, no human team under pressure could ever match. This drastically cuts down on both your downtime and the risk of mistakes.
All right, next up, let's talk about bringing these systems to life day to day. That's where intelligent monitoring and automation come in, which is the focus of chapters 5 and 6. This is really where we move from just finding problems to actually predicting them.
I love this comparison because it's so stark. Think about it. Traditional monitoring is your smoke alarm. It only goes off after the fire has started. Useful? Sure, but the damage is already happening. AI-powered monitoring, on the other hand, is like having a fire marshal who can smell the gas leak before the spark. It analyzes all these subtle patterns and can predict an issue before it ever impacts your users. It's the difference between firefighting and fire prevention. And this completely changes what a runbook even is. The guide shows how they stop being these dusty, static documents that sit on a shelf. Instead, they become living, breathing workflows. They're like your system's own intelligent first responders, able to make smart decisions and adapt on the fly as a crisis unfolds. Okay, we're rounding the final turn now with testing and governance, which you'll find in chapters 7 and 8.
This is so critical because it's where you prove it all works. It's how you close the loop and make sure you're meeting all those business and compliance goals that you as a leader are ultimately responsible for.
So, how do you know you're ready? The guide talks about advanced techniques like chaos engineering. It sounds scary, but the idea is brilliant. You intentionally try to break things in a controlled way. As the table shows, you inject small, random failures into your production environment to see how it holds up. You'd much rather find that weak link on a random Tuesday than at 3 a.m. during a real outage, right?
And of course, none of this works without solid governance. We're talking about having your architecture diagrams, dependency maps, test reports, all of it in order. And look, I know it can feel like paperwork, but it's not. This is your proof. It's how you show the auditors you're compliant, and it's how you keep getting better over time.
So let's bring it all home. As we wrap up this quick tour, let's recap the journey this guy lays out for you.
Look, we've really only just scratched the surface here, but what I hope you've seen is that the full tutorial is a complete 8-part roadmap. It's a step-by-step plan for IT leaders who are serious about building an organization that's not just resilient, but truly intelligent and ready for whatever comes next.
So that really just leaves one big question, and it's one for you to think about for your own organization. Is your disaster recovery plan built for the world of yesterday, or is it ready for the challenges of tomorrow? To really answer that, and to get the full blueprint, you want to check out the complete guide from Virtualization Options LLC.